again. I'm going to tell you something. If you want to successfully get your downline through the SMO checklist, right? And the good news is this. The good news is this. What I'm about to teach you is not only applicable. Are we together? Please, those on Zoom, confirm. Let me be sure you can hear me. I believe everybody can hear me. Now, if you want to be successful in getting them through the SMO checklist, and you want them to actually go through it, and you want to get the best of results, maximum results from this SMO checklist, I'm going to give you steps. I'm going to give you tips you need to consider. All right, things you need to do and things you need to consider. And the good news is this. This is the good news. The good news is the fact that what I'm about to tell you does not just apply to the SMO checklist. It applies to every aspect of your business. And it does not only apply to every aspect of your business, it also applies to even some other aspects of life, generally. General aspects of life. That's the catch. But I'm going to narrow it down to the SMO checklist. But if you think deeply about it, you regurgitate it very well, you realize that it applies to every aspect of your business. There is something you must understand. There is something you must understand as part of the reason why you need to get them through this SMO checklist. Number one, you must understand the three fuels. The three fuels in this business. In fact, in network marketing as a business, the three fuels. The three what? Fuels. Fuel. Petrol. The three petrols. Not that petrol, I'm just joking. Fuel, that's F-U-E-L. F-U-E-L. I think that's it, right? I pronounce it like a Nigerian man. I know the white man call it fuel. I know, but I decided to call it fuel so that you not tell me that, so that you're not going to write fuel, you're not going to write F-I-L-L. The three fuel of network marketing. I'm an African man. All right, that's it. You must understand the three fuels of network marketing when you are dealing with every single one of the team members, and if you want to successfully take them through. Number one, the first fuel is called the fuel of. Can anybody tell me? Say the fuel of the fuel of enthusiasm. Just write it there, enthusiasm. All right. The second fuel is the fuel of commitment. Yes, and the third fuel is the fuel of conviction. Yes, conviction. Enthusiasm. Write it. Number one, enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. How they spell that thing? E-T-H-U, right? Huh? Yes. Enthusiasm. So write it there. Enthusiasm. Just spell it anyhow, so far you can pronounce it. Like me, I can't spell very well. I write anyhow, but that's how we are trained. Huh? Well, as long as the message is passed across, that's the most important thing, right? The second one is the fuel of commitment. And the third fuel is the fuel of conviction. You must understand this. See, it is key, because if you don't understand these three fuels, trust me, you will continue to struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle, getting them through. Let me explain this. If we're together, say hi. Some of you are only, oh, I appreciate this person. Someone just wrote it and posted it on the chat box. I appreciate you. All right. Now, some of you are very successful in getting them. You already understand what it takes to get them through. In fact, everybody coming into your business, you know the funny thing about everybody coming into your business, most people that sign into the business is the first fuel. More than 90% of people that will sign into this business, they only have the first fuel. The fuel of enthusiasm. The enthusiasm here is the joy, the happiness, the excitement. As even if you remember the IPO, they tell you the what? The excitement phase. That's it. So when they saw the opportunity, that's why even the day you ran the presentation, some of them they were pursuing you. Look, I want to do this, I like the business. And finally, they joined the business. When they join the business, they are excited. They are happy. But take note of something. The fuel of enthusiasm is just as good as this thing I'm giving you is from, I'm making a reference of a book. Dare to Dream, thank you. Dare to Dream, Walk to Win. I'm making reference to that book. So you can go and read it and get more. That fuel is just enough to take them through 100 meters. 100-meter race, short distance in the business. That's the reason why anybody that comes in, the person will soon go out. Once you run 100 meters, you know the speed with which you used to run. But after then, what happens? You cast out. If you don't add fuel to their vehicle, guess what? They will not run more than 100 meters. Let me tell you how short 100 meters can be in this business. One day. 1 hour. I have seen someone, the fuel didn't last for more than 1 hour. Within an hour, he cast out. Do you know what happened? On the spot, he joined the business. And you know what he did? He called, he didn't even join the business. He just about to join the business. If I even remember, just about to join the business. And you know what he did? He put a call across to the wife. There and then. And called the wife. And he changed his mind. He was just about to make payment. And he changed his mind. Someone signed into this business. And you know what he did? He signed into the business, made payment. He went away. The next day he came. You know what he was asking me for? That I should give him, that is there a way he can get his money back. Some of you have been experiencing this thing. You must know how to manage that fuel of enthusiasm, because that is one of the best fuel you need. So that you can get them to what? To be able to get to the next level, which is the commitment level. It is very, very, very crucial and important. The reason is because they will always gas out. The fuel of 100 meters, the fuel of enthusiasm just takes them a short distance. It's good for only short distance. But the fuel of commitment will take them quite a good distance, but still to not take them to the ultimate land. Because the fuel of commitment will help them stay through some of the challenges. Remember the second phase, challenging phase, disappointment phase, right? Critical phase, and all that. So that fuel of commitment will help them stay true. So it's good for like 400 meters. You can run around the field. But the fuel that will now keep them finally in the business and make them multi-millionaires is the fuel of conviction. You must get them to that level. Is what it is. I will not break it down beyond that, but look at the catch. If you want to get, I think you wrote it down, how to get your downline through the SMO checklist, right? How to make it easy. Now, you must be intentional about the process. Number one, write it down. You must be intentional about the process. You must be intentional about the process. Now, what does it mean to be intentional? Please, to get your downline through the SMO checklist is not by giving them the SMO checklist on the first day. Most of you have not been successful in it because you are not intentional about it. You must understand, this is what it means to be intentional. You must understand that 70% of what they need to be doing in their first 1 month, 70% of it should be the SMO checklist, knowledge driven, upping their understanding in the business. Anybody signing to your business, you must understand it that way. 70% of their activity lies in the SMO checklist. 30% of the activity lies in the action that makes them make money. All right? So it's making money, learning and making money. But 70% lies in what? Learning. So most times, look at one of the reasons why many of you don't get them into the, go through this. You are not intentional and you don't follow them through. Some of you, since the day your downline got the SMO checklist, I'm just pointing out some of your mistakes so that you can identify it and correct it. Since the day you got the SMO checklist from the IPO, from the Quick Starter Guide, after that day, you have not asked them about the SMO checklist. And you expect them to just be going through it magically. It doesn't work that way. You must see the need and understand that what? It is important for me to get them through the SMO checklist. Write the second point. The second point means, and it's married to the first point. The second point is this. It means you yourself must have been done with the SMO checklist. You must be up and doing with the SMO checklist. Most of the people that will not get their team members through the SMO checklist are people who didn't actually finish the SMO checklist themselves. They didn't finish the SMO checklist. If you've successfully finished it from beginning to end, you will not find it too difficult to get your team members. Don't be surprised while we were talking here, you saw some leaders, they were contributing. They were saying things. Okay, some team members, yes, they might not do this because of this, but this is what I love to do. This is what I love, because why? Check them. They have actually finished the SMO checklist. So you yourself have to finish it. Go ahead, do it. Being intentional. How many of you do this every night? Because during the daytime, you are busy with them, one or more things. Sometimes during the daytime, you give them the activities, they do it during the daytime. I can be so engrossed and busy during the daytime. I don't usually have the time to take them through during the daytime. But guess what? Every night, what I do majorly before I go to bed, because daytime I work with people to make money, do all sort of things, run presentations, do all that, so I get too engrossed. But nighttime, once it's 8 o'clock, 8:30, that's the time most times I call. I am calling them. And why am I calling them? I am calling them to ask them how far, how has it been going? Where have we reached? Where did we stop? Where can we continue from? Most times we don't do it. Most times we just expect that what? Since they're in the incubator room, once they finish the next activity, they should request themselves. If they request, beautiful, they're intentional, they've seen the need for it. But most times they will not see the need for it, they don't do it. You are the one to guide them through. All right? You have to what? Be intentional in the process. You must see the need to always take them through. Take them through the process, take them through the process. It is very, 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 very important. If you don't do that, they will not do it. But some of you have been doing it. Now coming to the second category of you, you have been doing it, but you're not successful in it. At some point in time, some of them stop picking your call or something like that because they start seeing it as work, right? You're going to get them through, all right? If you can also understand the keys to successfully duplicate. I am not going to run duplication training here, but I'm only giving you these 4 keys that will help you go through them, get them through this SMO checklist. Write it, number 1. It's still part of it. It's part of what you're writing, how to get them through the SMO checklist. All right, but this is just like an aesthetic. Just identify this. You must educate them on the need for it. You must make them understand what they're doing. All right, you educate them on it. The second thing is you give them the activity, you delegate them to do it. The third thing is regulating them, which is what I've just said. Regulating them through it. And of course, when they've successfully gone through it, you celebrate them. That is the fourth, right? Now, this is how you get them through the SMO checklist. When a person starts the business, please pay attention to this. Are we together? If we're together, say hi, please. Now look at this. When a person starts the business, they have enthusiasm. That's the fuel. That's the fuel they have. They're excited, right? Get them to attend quick starter guide. Get them to attend IPO and all that. The next thing is this, you are taking them through this. As you are taking them through this, through this activity, the next thing, of course, is your first day network marketing. But most times, they don't go through the book. Sometimes they don't go through the book. There's a reason why they don't go through it. The simple reason is because they don't understand the reason why they should even go through it. And they are seeing it as work. If you can help them understand the importance of the book, they will read it. Are you sure the professor knew the importance of your first day network marketing? No. He didn't know the importance. No. Guess what? I tell them the importance of the book. I will tell you the importance of the book. I will tell you the importance of the business of the first century. I'm going to read a write-up, something I wrote to it downline. Someone I'm taking through the SMO checklist. And I want you to pay attention. Are you listening? Just pay attention to what I wrote. I deliberately wrote this. You know why I wrote this? The woman does not like reading. She doesn't like reading. And I know she doesn't like reading, right? And I called her, I told her some things, I encouraged her, and she picked interest. But I re-emphasized it in writing. I wrote it to her, and I'm going to read this out to you. Now pay attention. It doesn't mean, please don't ask me for the script. This thing is not a script. Please don't ask me for the script. Just understand what it takes to get them to understand what it takes. To be part of what, to go through it, right? Now read this. I'm going to read this now. I wanted to get her through the business of your first century. Not just your first century market, the business of your first century. Now this is what I wrote. I greeted her and I identified. I said, this is for week 1, activity number 5. When I send them activities, especially more recently, when I send it to them, you see I will identify it. I'll write week 1, activity number 2. Week 1, activity number 3. Week 1, activity number 5. You know why I'm doing that intentionally? Because so that they will know that what they are progressing, it gives them a sense of progress. They will relate it to the SMO checklist. I do that more recently, right? But guess what? I wrote this. I said, with the information in this book, from this book, you can become protected from the current economic troubles of the country. You will understand why many people are struggling and why few are wealthy. You will also learn how to take charge of your financial future using this, your current opportunity. You will even learn some of the things you can do to be able to get you to become free as early as possible so that you can take charge and you can determine whether you even remain on your job or not. And guess what? You can thank me later for this. But in the meantime, just focus on chapter 1 of the book. Just notify me when you are done so that we can move on to the next step. Now, when I wrote this, I deliberately, I'm intentional. Why I said it's not a script. Please don't ask me to send me a script. It's not a script. It's peculiar to different individuals. This is someone on a job that he doesn't like the job. She doesn't like the job. You understand? And I understand that this book will help him understand what to do. I will help her understand what to do. Right? And I wrote it deliberately. And because of that, she read the book. And guess what she did when she was giving me her feedback? I said, have you read the book? She said, yes. And she started explaining the book, topic by topic. She wrote everything about the book. She wrote a lot of things about the book. She said, I finished the book. Part 1 have taught me how to take control of my future. It has taught me how much the rules have changed. It has taught me about, I read about the silver lining and everything. If you read the book, you know about the silver lining. She talked about where we live currently, where do you live and all that. She talked about all this, even the core financial values, the cash flow patterns and everything. She mentioned it, the mindset of an entrepreneur. She was writing, and guess what? It's time to take control and how to take control. She was writing everything for me. Now, she did this because, the reason is because I have educated her on the importance of the book. If I ordinarily sent her the book, now take note of the difference. If I ordinarily sent her the book and say, okay, the next activity number 5 is the business of 21st century, and I send her the book, do you know what she might tell me? She might tell me that she's busy. But this same person I'm telling you that read this book and gave me all this breakdown is a person that goes to work by 7 o'clock, 7:30, and close as late as 7:30. Before she gets home most times, it's 8:30. And guess what? She took her time to still read the book. And how did she was reading it in her working place. When she was at work, in between hours, she would just take the book, read a little, keep. At home, she would take the book, read a little, keep, and she was done with the book. It took her quite some time, although, but I was ready to be patient with her. That's another thing, because I understood her, and she was done with the book, and I was happy. If you let them know the importance of it, you will not struggle much. You will not struggle much. You delegate. But more importantly, you must regulate. Delegating means give it to them now to go and study, and I sent it to her. Regulating here means you need to call on them and check on them. All right? Check on them. Bound it to time. Let me know when you are done reading the book. She knows that I always call her every night. And guess what? I called her as usual. Are you done with the book? She said no. I said, okay, just try and keep going through it. All right? So about as soon as you're done, let me know. Will you be done by tomorrow? She said, I will try my best to be done by tomorrow. It took her about 2-3 days. About 3 days or thereabouts, she finally finished the book. The part 1 of the book. Right? But I knew she had finished it because I regulated. Right? You could still regulate sending them messages. When you want to regulate people who are on job, who are very, very busy, let me give you the tactics. Don't call them and start asking them. You don't even want to let them know that they are not doing well. You don't even want to let them know. It's a good one to call them and all that. You don't want to even let them know that you are faulting them. No. I'm going to send you a message. Tell me what you've learned in the book. What do you understand by this? What do you understand by this? You will write everything you want to write for me. But I will know. When they write it, you are supposed to identify. Let me give you an instance. Now I'm going to read something. These things you are talking about, I've experienced it. I'm going to read another thing someone wrote for me. Now, pay attention to what the person wrote. I'm not going to call the person's name, but just pay attention to what the person wrote. When you write it for me, I know whether you read the book or not. Guess what? She answered the question almost correctly, but I still caught the fact that she didn't read the book. Now, listen to this. I said, this was the question. I said, I'm sure it was insightful, right? She said, yes. I said, okay. I would like you to tell me what you understand about, number 1, the rejection rocket. Number 2, management trap. It's just a simple thing. Anybody that read the book know about it, but look at what she wrote. She said, rejection rocket means rejection rocket means the most fun and rewarding businesses in the world. But eventually, all network marketers are faced with certain widespread and universal challenge. No matter how long we participate in MLM, in network marketing, and no matter how successful we become, there will always be the possibility that we will be shot down temporarily by the most prevalent and dangerous weapon of all. It can and will strike anytime. rendering us virtually immobile, thus destroying our enthusiasm and excitement, which are essential qualities of success. For example, rejection by spouse, rejection by family and friends, winning the battle, positive, negative, preparing your prospect for rejection. What does this tell you? What does this tell you for anybody that studied the book? She just simply went to a page in the book and extracted information and typed it for me. And guess what? When she sent it to me, guess what I did? They already know Dr. Omar. And guess what? Look at what I wrote. I said, wow. Who said wow? I said, wow. Powerful champion. This is psychology. You must know how to deal with people. Because she has tried. Take it or leave it, she has tried. For even copy and paste, she has even tried. I said, wow. Powerful champion. But guess what? I'm going to call you so that we can even discuss more. All right. I mean, I'm really impressed with what you just did. All right. But I'll call you so that we can discuss more because I know that she didn't read the book. I'm sure maybe she read some places, maybe, but she didn't read it. I was able to detect, right? And I've been trying to call her to arrange some things, all right? But when I called her, I didn't scold her. When you call them, please don't scold people unnecessarily because they make some little effort, just like Abraham mentioned, they make some little effort to do something. Appreciate the little effort they do, and then make them see the need to study. Then another thing again is this. You will take through this process, regulate them, be intentional, call them. In fact, look at how it operates. Every day, there must be an activity that they are doing that relates to the SMO checklist. At any point in time, there must be an activity they are on, which you are checking on. They must be on an activity which you usually check them on. For instance, there's someone for the past 2 days now, I've not called her. In fact, the last time we spoke, I think was on Friday. We didn't even speak, we chatted on Friday. But I was busy throughout Saturday. I was busy throughout Sunday. I didn't have time. But she's under my mentorship. All right. But look at what happened. In fact, at some point in time, she was calling me. I didn't pick. I picked her call. I said, I'll call you back. I'll call you back. But since yesterday, I've not been able to call her. Because when I was chance, it was already late night. I couldn't call her by that time. I know her time zone. Right? Now, watch what happens. For such persons, now watch what happens. Like today, there is something we are supposed to do. She has submitted her contact list. I am supposed to what? Guide her to send text messages and all that. These are things we're supposed to do. Checklist, you find it easier getting them into the SMO checklist when you know them. Please know your prospects. Not your prospects, know your who? Your downlines, know your team members. Know your team members down deep. Down deep. Write it there. Know your team members down deep. What do I mean by that? Build relationship. Have a cordial relationship with your team members. This is another thing I do in my team. If you check every single person I mentor, they are not just upline, downline to me. They are strong. I have strong relationship with them. The relationship with them is very, very strong. It's the truth. That's how everybody I'm taking through it. That's why I'll tell you, I'll mentor you. And once I'm mentoring you, the relationship is usually like this. It's like this. We have very, very strong relationship because why? There are so many things I have to learn about you, and there are so many things you will eventually know about me. And this makes it easier for me to work with you. If you want to easily get through, now there was something that happened, and a leader was laughing when I did it. A man came, and I sat the man down, we were discussing, and I started asking the man questions. We were just interacting. Some of you have not observed this closely. You'll observe sometimes you bring a prospect to me, or you bring some of your team members to me, and we'll be discussing. And guess what I'm doing? I'm just asking questions, cracking jokes, asking questions, cracking jokes, asking questions, making the atmosphere lively. What I'm just doing with all those things is just to know them better. I'm cementing my relationship with them because it makes it easier for me to work with you. I don't see it reasonable for me enough to start giving you a book to read when I don't even know how your time looks like. I don't even know where you are working. I don't even know your schedule, what you are. There was a day I was sitting with you. Remember the last time we sat and I was asking, I said, it's like you're an evangelist, right? Like, and you say, how did you know? Was that the question you asked me? Yeah, there are things that we're observing. I was observing. I said, it's like you're a pastor, you're an evangelist. And you are surprised. I said, I understand it. And guess what? I was even asking you other questions. Because what I do is I cement my relationship first. That's how I get you into the business, to stay in the business. And once I cement my relationship with you, do you know what happens eventually? Somebody asked me what? Even if you are tired of the business, you will never be tired of me. That's how it operates. You can be tired of the business, but you can't be tired of me. That's it. You might get tired of the business at some point in time, but you can't be tired of me. Because you can't stay near me and be feeling somehow. You won't feel uncomfortable. You might have all, you might have respect, you might have all that, but you will not have this feeling of running away from me. You always want to bond with me because why? I know you. I know how it operates. I know how it do you. And guess what? We're always together. When I started this business, one of the things that eventually helped me, I was able to take lots of people through the SMO checklist eventually, was because I knew them so well. When I know that this person is working in a place where he doesn't have time, and I know that the time he has is so time, most times that's the time I'll call him. But it means you must know that you must get that information first. And guess what? Judah Hamza mentioned something, and some of you were not listening. Let me repeat it again. This is it. Cement a strong relationship with them, in the sense that this is how it operates. It operates this way. Sometimes you need to go into things that concern them personally. Some of them are not going through the SMO checklist. You don't even know why. Let me tell you one experience I have. There was this lady I was working with, and I don't like mentioning names, but if she's here, she will identify. I was working with her, and guess what? All of a sudden, she started, I can't even understand her. Even I myself, I became confused. And guess what? Because she has not been like that. As much as possible, we have been going through the SMO and everything. She has been doing some activities. All of a sudden, if I call her, she will not pick. Even if she pick, she said, okay. She was just like, I now asked her a question. I said, what is the problem? What is the challenge? You've not been yourself. But I observed, because I knew how she was before. You've not been yourself. She said, nothing, no problem. She told me outrightly that there's no problem. But me, I knew that there's problem. But the only thing I was suspecting was maybe, what could be the problem? Is it that she's discouraged or what? I can't really get it. You know what I did one day? I called her. I said, hey, did I call me? No, I didn't call her. I called her name. I assumed that's her name, but guess what? I called her name. I said, look, you know what? In this business, we're not just in business. Take me as a brother. Share with me. Tell me what is wrong with you. Do you know what happened to this lady eventually that I discovered? That I've been making me struggle for 1 week. In fact, anytime she sees my call, she doesn't even pick. I started thinking I've been disturbing. I couldn't even get it. 1 whole week. I kept on following her up, but she was no longer responding. But there was something I didn't stop. I just sent her a chat. I said, pick my call. Let me know what, I just want to tell you something. She picked eventually. And I started digging into her. I started asking her some questions. Guess what I discovered at the end? This lady went to her boyfriend's house, which was supposed to be her fiancé, and she met another woman with another lady with the boyfriend. That was what brought the genesis of this whole thing. I've been struggling. That was the cause of my struggle. That I was thinking that all this while I've been struggling. I was even thinking maybe the business, she got angry in the business or something. Maybe I offended her because she even stopped picking my call. She went to her boyfriend's house and she saw another lady with her, and the thing started getting interesting. And I started asking her more questions. You know what she told me? And I said, wow. How did you handle it? What happened? I said, what did you do when you get there? She said, that she had to. Now she was more free telling me all this now because we had good relationship. She said that she got very annoyed and the thing pissed her off. And then she now asked him that you have to choose between me and this lady. And guess what? You know what? And I said, okay, what did he say? What did he say? I was interested in what he said. I said, so what did he say? Who did he choose? He said that he kept quiet. He didn't say anything. I said, no. So he didn't say anything about it. I said, so what did you do? He said, I had to that. She got annoyed and left. She got annoyed and left. And that's the reason why she has not been herself and all that. And you know what I did? I had to start doing guidance and counseling. I have to start another. In fact, we left business. We left business. It didn't concern SMO. We left SMO. We left everything. I started another fresh business of guidance and counseling that I didn't know. I started telling her things. I started everything. We started, but at the end of it, I was happy because she was able to get through. In fact, I just gave her a tactic, a political tactic. I said, look, you know what you do? You know what you do? Just go and block his number. I gave her an advice. I said, block his number. Just assume that this thing never happened. I know it's difficult, but you have to do it. Just block his number. Just stay as if, just ignore. Even if he calls you, don't pick. In fact, if he calls you too much, just block the number. And then do that for the next 3 days. Give me the feedback. Give me the feedback. Guess what? I said, don't call him. Don't try to do it. No, don't do all those things. Just leave him. If he calls you, don't pick. If he calls you, don't pick. Anything, don't just pick. Then give me the feedback after 3 days. She gave me the feedback after 3 days. She told me that he has been calling her, but she didn't pick. But like I said, she decided to block the number. I said, okay. So she now asked me what next. I said, wait for another 3 days. But let's continue business. And guess what? 3 days after, nothing happened. And I said, okay, you know what? She said, oh, nothing happened. I know the truth about it is this. I understood she was emotional. She loved me. I said, wait for another 3 days. And watch what happens. And we were doing that. And guess what? You know what happened eventually? The guy came to visit her. Eventually. I said, do you know why I told you to wait for 3 days? I said, the simple reason is this. You cannot press yourself on someone that does not love you. It's not by force. You cannot press yourself. If he likes you, he will want to look for you. Because why? He has offended you, he has to come and apologize. Even if he doesn't like that, let him come and apologize. If he fails to apologize for what he has done, please, you shouldn't waste your time. Go and rub your makeup and everything and just feel free as if nothing ever happened. So when I told her that, and guess what? We're doing the business and we continue business. So eventually, I'm happy that they are together now and everything is okay. And very soon they're getting married. I'm happy for them. But the truth about it is, the truth is that thing almost ruined my business. And I was very, very angry with the guy because he wanted to ruin my business. This is someone that is very, very active. He almost ruined my business. And that's the catch. Some of your downlines are going through some things that you don't even know. And you are still telling the person, your SMO. Each time you mention that word, they get irritated because they are facing some other things. Build relationship. So that when they get worried about the business, they can't get wary of you. They won't get wary of you. That's one thing about the business. So some of you are like, someone mentioned something, you are too official. Don't be too official. You are too official sometimes. Call them, ask them about things that concern you. But sometimes I just call you, I will just talk and we'll gist. And then before I chip in sometimes, what next? About the business. They are sick, visit them, and all that. Build the business in that manner. It makes it easier. How you call it? You should be in the Zoom meeting. Why are you calling me? Don't call me now. I'm in the meeting. Log into the meeting. Please. So this is the catch. Take them through very, very carefully. All right? But build relationship. It makes everything easy. It makes everything easy. But be intentional. Don't just be working with them, getting them sign-ups and leaving them. Otherwise, the whole work, the whole load of everything is still coming back to your head. It's just the truth about it, right? And another thing again, I think this is where I'm going to end it. What other excuses did you get? What other excuses did you get? I think I've addressed most of them. I've addressed them.
So we said that I've not completed my payment.
If they said they've not completed their payment, let them be going through the SMO. They do that too? Yes. The person has not completed his payment and doesn't want to. They will not do anything. So how do you handle it? They will not pick a call. Now, okay, this is what you let them know. If they've not completed the payment, draw the BAI for them. You get the catch. And give them an option to help them. You know the BAI, right? The BAI for them.
Like they saw the person that guy.
Yeah.
And they are now part of the assessors.
Yeah. Someone said, I don't want to do anything until I have 15 accounts.
Exactly.
Good. Tell them something. The truth about it is you must make them understand it. Must I have 15 accounts before I read a book? Must I have 15 accounts before I watch a video? Must I have 15 accounts before I go through a training? It's not rational. You must make them see it. It's your responsibility as a leader. They must see it from that perspective. I understand when they say that until I have 15 accounts before I submit my contact list or before I connect. Did you get the catch? But guess what? That is not a reason why they shouldn't go through the SMO checklist. They still have to go through it. Did you get the catch? You must make them go through it. And making them go through this, you must make them see the need that this does not affect you going through. If I let them know that you will still complete your 15 account, but it is better you buy it, you avoid buying this time now, because even when you complete the 15 account, what you ought to have done, you start doing it by then, and you have wasted significant time. So let them know that. All right. So I appreciate you. We're going to end this here. All right. Be intentional in going through the process. Go through the SMO checklist and raise leaders. And raise leaders in your team. That is it. Raise leaders in your team. And guess what? Become successful in your business. And I'm very, very optimistic that at the end of this meeting, someone here, all right, your business is going to take a different dimension. In fact, every single one of you here, your business will take a different dimension. Have you gotten value for your time? Did you learn something today? Absolutely, yes. But here's the catch. Anybody with a question, you want to ask something, please feel free, just ask quickly. I'm going to take just one question. Just one. Who is that person that will ask? Anybody? If you know you have, just ask. Okay. Okay, be intentional about the business, be intentional about the process. That's the nutshell, that's the summary. Okay, please ask a question quickly. Okay. Okay, quickly, let's end it. Okay.
We have some team members here who have one or two challenges. We have one of the leaders, of course, Mr. Innocent.
Yes, that's true. Thank you for reminding me.
The same thing we can call him to at least.
Yes, Mr. Innocent Solomon, yes, he lost his mom. That's true. Yes, of condolence. Very, very important. Yes, it's good. It's good.
And there are some of them who lost for days, some for weeks.
Yeah, and it's good. And it's good.
Like I just saw in class. I mean, I was checking through the participants.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I didn't see him. I called him. He was one picture.
Yeah.
Send me a message that they have been sick. All this while. So people like that, sometimes when you don't see them, call them.
Yeah.
Or send them a message at least. Pray for them. It's part of the business. If you cannot doing this for the business, this for the sake of the person, humanity.
Yeah. And that's true. I agree with you. I agree with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And it's good. I'm sure we all heard what he said, right? Yes. And it's good. Sometimes people have some peculiar challenges, like one of our connectors who just lost his mom. And Mr. Innocent has a limited leader, right? Triumphant. So you can reach out to him with a condolence. It's important. Okay. That's it. Is there a question?
Yeah.
Okay, quick one, very quickly. That's the last question I'm going to take. That's the only question. Okay.
I won't mention this, but I've seen it. Connectors, like I agree with each other, almost like at the very top of their downlines, shouting at their downlines, saying,
Check that connector. He has not completed the SMO checklist. Yeah, that's it. No, don't talk much. No, the connector has not completed the SMO checklist. If I sit him down, ask him one or two crucial questions from the SMO, he can't tell me. Anybody that, do you know what this business teaches you? The discipline it gives you. If you are still arguing with someone, you are shouting, you are fighting, you have not completed your SMO checklist. If you have completed it, it won't be like that. I appreciate you. God bless you all. All right. And I hope to see every single one of you at the best. In fact, by this time next week, I want your business to take a different dimension. The challenge 36 is on. All right. Please take your last thing. The challenge 36 is on. You're either in the primary, you're either in the secondary, or you're either not in challenge 36. If you're in the primary, push it hard and hit it. This is what today's date is on 5th. 5 days already gone. You have your target. Your leader has sat with you to hit your target, maybe to generate other 6 code, or maybe to raise other secondaries, or as the case may be, or income target. Push it intentionally. Use this as an opportunity to what? To raise kingsmen. All right? Raise kingsmen. Be intentional about raising kingsmen. Once you complete the SMO checklist and meet other criteria to become a kingsman, take the incubator room very, very seriously. Now, what you do is this, please. Those of you that are admin in my incubator room, if you know anybody that has spent 1 month without doing the SMO checklist, please, you have today to get them to the general platform and then follow them up through the SMO checklist. Don't keep a person more than 1 month in the incubator room. It's not necessary. If the person cannot finish it in 1 month, they go to the general platform and then you follow them up on it. All right, this is it. Be intentional about raising kingsmen. If you are still in the incubator room for 1 month, it means you are not growing. If you're actually growing, you should not remain in the incubator room. There's another higher platform which you are supposed to be in. All right, I appreciate you all. God bless you all. I appreciate you all. All right, the meeting has come to an end. All right.